Susan O'Gara. She is playing a much more mundane role. In Chomp, she plays Millie, who is, let's just say, a few bricks short of a full old baby. Tonight she's going to be our narrator. Also with us tonight is the wonderful Kyle Porter. Kyle plays Kyle. But that was actually the character's name before I cast it. And in Chomp, basically the whole premise of the movie is that Millie sees Kyle coming home from a Halloween party wearing a zombie costume, thinks he's a real zombie, and knocks him over the head and kidnaps him, and he spends the entire movie chained to a concrete block in her garage trying to convince her that he is not a zombie. So that's Chomp. The other folks that we have from Chomp here tonight are two of the most important people in my entire life. They are Sally Bosco. We've been critique partners for a gazillion years. She let me film in her house. She's one of the associate producers of Chomp. And then Jeff Strand. Who the default role of being the most important person up here because he's my husband. So you'll get to hear one of his pieces later on tonight. And they're both right. And yes. So, but tonight, like I said, this is a totally indulgent because to get to hear my script kind of the way I thought it should be, and with people that I just love. Although I do love the cast and crew of He's Not Looking So Great too. I love them all. But these are my folks because Chomp is my very first one. So one of the things, because I am a huge fan of not only the apocalypse, but specifically the zombie apocalypse. You will hear in the movie, in what we're going to do, we're doing basically a staged reading, and you will hear references to classic zombie films, and our wonderful narrator will give you an opportunity to identify the reference to the classic zombie film in the middle of the reading. So, and if you do, you're going to shout it out, we're going to acknowledge you, and at the end, you get to win one of these wonderful posters from Chomp for He's Not Looking So Great. So,
and there will be 2 points towards the end where there will be audience participation.
Oh yes, audience participation. So can you hear us okay? Can you hear me okay? Yes. Can you, Susan?
Can you hear me okay? Yes.
Okay. All right. So without any further ado, we are very happy to present He's Not Looking So Great.
Brad, Ursula, Mary, and Chuck are being chased by zombies to a warehouse. Brad, a charismatic jock, takes a wrong turn into an empty, dead-end corridor. They will be trapped unless they can get through a small window at the end of the hall. The zombies follow them into the corridor, staggering closer with every second. Chuck, Brad's best friend and the obvious alpha male of the group, stops between his friends and the zombies. He calls over his shoulder to the others. Go! Chuck fends off the first zombie with a baseball bat. Audience, the baseball bat is from what classic zombie movie?
Shaun of the Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Zombieland! Okay, great. Brad boosts Chuck's hot girlfriend Mary, up through the window. Even though he doesn't need to, he gleefully puts his hands on her perfectly formed butt and wishes. He's always wanted to do that. Chuck continues fighting zombies to give his friends the time to escape. He fends off the second zombie with a cricket bat, even though he wasn't carrying one. Audience, what zombie movie is the cricket bat?
We should give it to the person who said Shaun of the Dead earlier.
No, because they said for baseball.
Oh, he said every answer
Shaun of the Dead.
He
said Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead over here. Over here.
Wait. You and who? Okay. Both of you.
Brad boosts his own slightly plump girlfriend Ursula up through the window, grimacing and avoiding her butt at all costs. She struggles, but eventually wriggles through. The zombies shuffle closer and closer. Chuck fends off the third zombie with a huge screwdriver he pulls from off-screen.
Here's your screwdriver.
Even though there wasn't one in the corridor. Right, which zombie movie has the screwdriver from? Ooh. Take a guess.
Dawn of the Dead.
Ah,
41 years. Yes, 40 years. Oh, we could delay it? Yes. All right, there you go.
Mary, apparently standing on something on the other side, helps Brad up through the window. Brad leans back out for Chuck.
Come on, Chuck, come on, man. I got this.
Chuck bomb dives a fourth zombie with a remote-controlled toy helicopter that was also not in the corridor. The side of the helicopter has a WGON logo on it. The blades chop into the zombie's eyes. Okay, what classic zombie movie is a WGON newscopter from?
Dawn of the Dead.
Here?
Right?
Dawn of the Dead! And that was so obscure. Round of applause for Dawn of the Dead. Okay.
At Mary's request, Chuck,
just come on.
At Mary's request, Chuck drops the remote control and bolts out for the window. He is fast. There are too many zombies. Chuck leaps up, misses Brad's hand, and slides back down. Chuck grabs Brad's hand a second time, but as Brad is pulling him up, a fifth zombie grabs his ankle and bites it. Chuck bellows in pain.
Oh.
Brad finally pulls Chuck through the window. The room is filled with crates of ludicrous weapons. The crates are labeled with things like rocket launcher, chainsaw, pissed off skunk, catapult, bad 80s records, slightly used machete, snakes, and Deus Ex machine gun. The boxes are not always large enough for their supposed contents.
Good place to be in the zombie apocalypse. Got Sam.
Brad and Ursula stack boxes and wooden crates to block the window and then barricade the room's only door. Chuck limps to the far wall and collapses. Mary kneels beside him, crying and trying to help, but Chuck is too much of a tough guy to let her do anything.
Here, let me.
It's no use.
If we can just stop the bleeding.
I don't want you to get infected.
Mary refuses to leave and buries her head on Chuck's chest. Weeping softly, he puts his arm around her. Zombies moan and pound against the door. Audience, the best zombie moans.
Amping up the stakes now.
Finished securing the door, Brad and Ursula sit on the floor. Resting their backs against the barricade, and Brad turns to Ursula.
I think we should see other people.
You're breaking news with me in the middle of the zombie apocalypse.
Well, I'm guessing there's a whole lot more of the zombie apocalypse left, so technically we're at the beginning of it, not the middle, but yes, I'm ready.
Then why?
We're just drifting apart, that's all.
You're saying I run too slow, aren't you?
No!
If you're saying I'm bad, I'm totally gonna.
Okay, well, I mean, you did have some trouble getting through the window, and it's kind of embarrassing.
Oh my God, you're really gonna go there? Maybe if you had helped your girlfriend through the window first, instead of that slut, Mary.
What?
Oh my God, you're dumping me to go after me. I mean, what about Chuck?
He's not looking so great.
In the background, we can see Chuck leaning against the wall, now visibly pale and stiff. Blood pools around his ankle. Mary is draped over his legs now, wailing. He is your best friend. Behind them, Chuck topples stiffly and abruptly to the side.
Was my best friend.
Brad crosses the room and pulls a still crying Mary away from Chuck, who is now coming back to life as zombie Chuck.
You are not going to do this to me.
A distraught Mary backs away from zombie Chuck and bumps into Ursula. There's a gleam in Ursula's eye, like she might feed Mary to Zombie Chuck. Mary backs away from Ursula and Zombie Chuck, out of the scene. Brad is unintentionally standing between Zombie Chuck and the two girls, desperately scanning for some kind of weapon.
Look, it's nothing personal, but with Chuck gone, it's going to be too difficult to to protect two women during a zombie apocalypse. And no offense, but Mary is hotter.
We see a woman's hand tearing open a wooden crate labeled Deus Ex machine gun. She pulls out a machine gun.
Heads up.
Mary tosses the machine gun to a surprised Ursula, who catches it and grins. Mary wipes the last of her tears and takes another machine gun for herself. Brad is stunned by the sudden development, and Zombie Chuck takes this opportunity to lunge at Brad. They scuffle, and we can't tell if Zombie Chuck makes contact. Mary shoots Zombie Chuck in the head repeatedly, and he falls to the ground. Brad also drops to the ground in fetal position, covering his ears, and when the gunfire ceases, he stays curled up a little too long. Finally, he awkwardly stands up, trying to look cool.
I was like super close.
Mary gestures towards Brad's bloody wrist with her machine gun.
You've been bit.
Brad frantically tries to hide his wrist behind his back.
You're not looking so great, Brad.
Brad flashes his most charismatic grin.
Ladies.
Mary bats her eyelashes at him, gives him her last best wide-eyed, innocent look.
How are you ever going to be able to protect two helpless women with that fight? Yeah, Brad. Whatever will you do?
Cauterized.
He winces from the bite, and Mary and Ursula back up.
Wait. No, I didn't. No.
Mary and Ursula rattle bullets into Brad, who falls dead next to Zombie Chuck. Ursula scowls at Brad's dead body.
Maybe we didn't want to have to protect you during the zombie apocalypse.
The moans of the zombies grow louder and louder. Audience?
Keep going.
Keep going. Try to break down the barricaded door. Keep loading.
Let's go kick some zombie ass. I just want to say that these folks are fantastic sports to come and do this for me, totally, just for my great joy and hopefully yours too. But come and see Chomp October 19th at the Tampa Picture Show. There's postcards. We would love to see you there. And if you were one of the people that got one of the trivia questions right, you can meet us over there, pick your poster, and we'll autograph. So, thank you.